Hey there, thanks for watching. In this video, I'm going to be giving you an update on my plan for financial independence in 2020. So I felt like this update was kind of overdue because lately over the past few months, I feel like my approach has shifted, and if I didn't feel like I fit into any specific portal or like group of people or strategies, I really feel like I don't fit into a particular group of strategies now. I feel like I am combining the best of methods that I've learned from and taking advice. So I feel like I'm taking advice from people that I trust and respect and admire, and people who have, hey, face it, made more money and been more successful than me. So I'm taking that advice, but also blending that with my own life experience and using that to shape a better future and to get me to financial independence faster. So the purpose of this update is to really focus on financial independence and sharing with you my strategy for achieving financial independence. So with the world events over the past few months, I feel like this has really forced me or given me an opportunity to examine exactly what I'm doing with money. And it's been a great opportunity in many ways because I feel like it's given me that time to sort of sit and reflect and to think about what I've done, think about where I've been, think about where I'm going, and to be very crystal clear in where I'm going. And that's been very exciting. I feel like I have more clarity now than ever before. And the reason why this clarity is coming is because I'm someone that takes a long time to process. I need to be introspective and to sit with feelings and events for a while before I'm able to make an informed, clear decision. And in regard to financial independence, I feel like this is certainly something that's coming out. So I kind of want to say why I feel like I don't fit into any one group and why I think that that's okay, and why I feel like that makes it even more important, why it's even more important to have voices that don't fit into one particular group. So in regard to the f.i.r.e community, while it's a great movement and a great concept and a fantastic concept that works for so many people, and there are so many success stories, people who've gotten out of debt super fast or who've saved enough for their independence and they don't need to work anymore, it's work optional. There are certainly people who have done that and been successful, and it is so possible, and it's such a freeing and liberating movement. I doubt that will be my path, because I am not focused on that quickly. Speed is not my goal, and I feel like that's okay. My goal is financial independence, and I am going to work using the strategies that I'm going to share later in the video. I'm going to work toward that goal with every ounce of strength that I have. I don't believe that speed is, again, my primary goal. I'm not focused on getting there quickly. I'm focused on getting there safely and with as much protection and as much dignity as humanly possible. There were a few comments on a couple of my past videos that really kind of brought that out to me, and I'm going to recommend a channel to you. She's abroad on a budget, and I really, really value her advice and her input, and I hope she starts posting again soon, because she is sort of a prime example of how finance isn't one size fits all at all, and it's important to be very careful with the financial advice that you're taking on and not to just take it it's important to be very careful with the financial advice that you follow and to protect yourself. That's my biggest drive and aim and goal, is protecting both my time, my energy, my income, my savings, and my financial health in general. Because I'll kind of share a little bit of her story. She's got a really exciting life path, career path. She's traveled internationally. I believe she still is working internationally. And she's someone like myself who kind of got a little bit disillusioned with the Dave Ramsey community. And while Dave Ramsey, again, has great principles and a good solid foundation for finance, it is so important to protect yourself. And that is what I believe that Dave Ramsey doesn't do. So again, I take issue in the Ramsey community, and this is why I don't fit into the Ramsey community 100%, is because I don't believe that $1,000 is enough for an emergency fund while you're getting out of debt. So let's say you have your $1,000 emergency fund, you pay $20,000 off of your student loan debt, and then all of a sudden at the end of that $20,000 journey, you're crossing the finish line and you lose your job, and you have only $1,000 emergency fund. That's not enough. You've gotten burned. So I feel like the Ramsey method, again, I give him obviously 100% credit. He's built an empire based on the advice that he gives. I don't believe that that is enough to get out of debt on. So for me, the Ramsey way does not work, and that's not my focus. That said, again, I believe in 90% of what he says, and it's not so much about being flexible, it's about being prudent and being wise and saving enough to protect yourself. Not that your protection comes from money, but it's important to be wise with the money you have. So that's to say that I don't fit into any of these boxes. That's not to say that I am not doing absolutely everything in my power to craft and create a responsible, hopeful, joyful, wonderful, prosperous future ahead. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I'm planning to do as I step into the next 5.5 months of the year, which is so exciting for me. And I am putting this out there because I feel like, again, the things that I've learned from quarantine are that some of the actions I took that would not be Dave Ramsey approved, like taking a vacation. I am so darn glad that I took a vacation in February, because who would have known that the world would have completely locked down March through July? So that is one example where absolutely you take that silly vacation. You take that vacation, you have the time of your life. And in that, it's about balance for me, and about balancing enjoying the moment with putting enough aside for the future, because yes, you're not guaranteed tomorrow, but at the same time you need to be wise and prudent and count the cost of anything you go into. So here are the things I'm going to be doing in the next 5.5 months of the year. And I have notes here that I'm looking down on, so forgive me. So these are the 4 things that I am committed to transforming and using in my journey to financial independence. These are things that I am already doing today. They are important for me to keep doing, and it's important for me to remember to highlight these things. So number one, spend less than I make. I have no consumer debt, and I plan on keeping it that way. Spend less than I make. Number 2 is to save at least 10% of everything I make. And this might sound easy, but so for me, I save 8% of my pre-tax income in my work-sponsored 401k. They match up to 3%, which is great. So that's where 8% of it goes. And the additional 2% I put aside in a liquid emergency fund. So that's where I am right now. I would love to be maxing out my retirement vehicles. That's number 3, which I am not doing currently. So I believe for the 401k, it's $15K yearly limit and $6K on the Roth IRA. I'm nowhere near maxing those out, but that is my goal, and for the rest of this year and going forward. Because I have heard from people, and it is so encouraging to hear that they've built a fantastic future for themselves just by maxing out their work-sponsored retirement plans. And that is there's nothing fancy. There's no like weird hacks or like the secrets revealed. There are no secrets to this. It's just simple. Spend less than you make and save your darn money. Like that's what it is. And this is entirely what I am continuing to emphasize, because you can go back and forth on methods that work, things that don't work, and different things are going to work for different people. But at the same time, some things always work. And if you save your money, you're always going to have some money. That's how that goes. If you spend less than you make, you don't have to go into debt. That's how it goes. And the 4th item that I'm going to continue to do is to invest time and energy into building skills and hustles on the side that will bring in additional income and strengthen the income I already have. So it's just very basic. There's nothing earth-shattering or different about what I'm doing. It's just kind of making a commitment to overall financial health and wellness, and to putting financial clarity and financial prudence and being smart with money above everything else. So for me, point number 1 is to spend less than I make. And if for this month a vacation and travel is in my budget, then I will go ahead and I will do that. And that is something that I am, again, kind of balancing back and forth, because if I've learned nothing from this quarantine, it is that you have no idea what's going to happen tomorrow. So there is an element to enjoying the present that is certainly present, that is certainly there to be considered. On the other hand, you got to save for the future, and you have to be prudent with in building a life that will sustain you with dignity going into the future. So that's kind of where I am. Again, like I always say that I feel like I don't fit into any one box, and I 100% feel like that's okay. Like I'm not going to be posting any huge success stories anytime soon, mark my words. Wouldn't it be cool if I did? Then that's always the hope, that's always the working, and you never know, I never know what's going to be the surprise around the corner, if there's something wonderful waiting around the corner, and if not, there's a rainy day fund stocked up for when it starts to rain and you have no warning. So that is my quick update on my plans for financial independence going into 2020, as we close out 2020, how I'm planning on achieving financial independence leading forward. So as always, I thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you'll keep watching. Bye!